I've been watching the World Cup, and this is my first time watching a World Cup, so I'm really hyped. So before this, I only watched the 2022 World Cup final, and that was a banger. Okay, so this video is basically a recap of all the amazing moments from the World Cup. So the first game of this World Cup was Mexico versus South Africa. So this was the first game of this World Cup and it wasn't anything special. Also, I remember 3 people got a red card this game, so that was pretty funny. So I missed the next game, which was a Korea game. I remember when I woke up, everyone was talking about it and I was so upset that I didn't watch it. Also, this is where I learned my lesson to not miss any games. Anyways, moving on to the next game, which was USA versus Paraguay. Also, let me tell you that this game was a banger. USA dominated this game and won 4-1. Okay, so the next game is a big one. Brazil versus Morocco, and this game I was rooting for Brazil. So I was the only one rooting for Brazil and my whole family was rooting for Morocco. So this game was the first of many heart attacks I got this World Cup. When Morocco scored their first goal against Brazil, I thought it was over. Until Vinny the GOAT decided to equalize it and make it 1-1. Also, this is where the golden boot race starts. Also, Brazil had a really bad performance this game. And Neymar didn't play, so that was sad. Anyways, moving on to the next game, which was the Germany game. Germany won 7-1 and it wasn't even close. But the opposing team did good in the first half and scored a goal. And I believe it was the first goal for their country in the World Cup, so go for them. So the next game is Netherlands versus Japan, and let me tell you, this was so peak. It was like blue luck actually happened in real life, and Japan decided to equalize the score on the 88th minute, which was crazy. So the next game is Spain versus Cape Verde. So I'm supporting Spain this World Cup, so let's see how far they go. Hopefully they win. Okay, so Spain doesn't perform that well and ties to Cape Verde. Also, Cape Verde is participating in the World Cup for the first time. And this tie was really embarrassing for Spain. And it's a really proud moment for Cape Verde. Also, the goalkeeper of Cape Verde blocked almost every single shot from Spain, making him really famous. So the next big game is France versus Senegal, where obviously France wins. And this is where Mbappe scores a brace, putting him in the Golden Boot race. So the next game was a Norway game, where the demon, the monster, Haaland plays. This is his first ever World Cup game and he scores 2 goals, joining the Golden Boot race. The next game is Argentina versus Algeria, where Messi comes and scores a hat-trick, joining the Golden Boot race. I still don't understand how this unk at the age of 39 is doing all this, bro. Bro, someone gotta stop him. The next game was really disappointing and a disappointment for Portugal. It was Portugal versus DR Congo where they tie. Portugal with the best midfield in the world ties to DR Congo. That's really embarrassing. And I think it's a win for DR Congo. Okay, so the next game was also crazy. It was England versus Croatia. England wins and Harry Kane decides to join the Golden Boot race too. The next game is Canada versus Qatar, where Canada actually dominates and wins 6-0. The next game is a Brazil game where Brazil actually wins 3-0. Also, Vinny was cooking this game. He scores 2 goals. This puts him up in the Golden Boot race. Also, again Neymar didn't play, which was sad. The next game is Japan versus Tunisia, where Japan wins 4-0. Okay, so after that is a big one. It's Spain versus Saudi Arabia. So there's a lot of context behind this game. So before the game, Saudi Arabia was talking a lot of smack to Lamine, just like they did to Messi in 2022. But Spain wins 3-0 where Lamine Yamal scores a goal. So I think that was like 10,000 plus aura for Lamine. Also, he's my favorite player if y'all didn't know. I hope he wins the World Cup. Okay, so moving on to our Argentina game where Messi scores 2 goals, putting him all the way up in the Golden Boot race. But Mbappe don't sit and wait around. The next game he scores 2 more goals. And he sits right behind Messi in the race. The next game is Norway versus Senegal where Norway dominates. Haaland scored 2 more goals and ties to Mbappe in the Golden Boot race. Bro, at this point the Golden Boot race looks more exciting than the World Cup, bro. The next game is again Portugal versus Uzbekistan, where obviously Portugal wins. Also, Ronaldo scores 2 goals that game. The next game is a Brazil game where Vinny scores 2 goals, putting him up in the Golden Boot race. Also, my GOAT Neymar played for like 20 minutes. That was so amazing to watch. I'm literally so happy, bro. I'm crying. After that, it's Norway versus France, where France wins. Okay, so this game was very anticipated and very hyped. We all thought we were gonna see Mbappe versus Haaland, but the coach decided to bench Haaland. That was so lame but understandable. Also, Dembele scores a hat-trick that game, destroying Norway. Also, the next game is the England game where Harry Kane scores 1 more goal. After that, it's Portugal versus Colombia where Portugal ties. Also, this is their second time tying, so it's really bad. The next game is Austria versus Algeria, where the ending was insane. It ended 3-3 with 2 last-minute goals. That was just crazy to watch. The next game is Argentina versus Jordan, where Messi comes off the bench and scores a free kick goal. Bro, someone tell this guy that he is 39. He needs to chill out, bro. Are all the World Cups this good or did I just get lucky, bro? Well, anyways, these are all the good and really amazing moments of the World Cup group stage so far. And if I missed anything, let me know in the comments. I probably missed a lot of stuff. Also, I'll make a part 2 for group of 32 and group of 16 games. So stay tuned for that. I hope you all enjoyed the video. So please subscribe and bye.